Okay, I've been wanting to take a second look at the Swampfox Kraken Optic, which is a sealed red dot optic for your handguns or for your rifle, if that's where you'd like to put it as well. I first looked at it on the Smith & Wesson 9mm M&P, and that was the metal frame. But now I thought, you know what? As long as I'm looking at this on Smith & Wesson handguns, why not the M&P 10mm? Give this optic a little workout. And what I mean by the workout is really that I'll find out how well it holds its zero, or just basically how well it holds its composure with the heavier recoil of a 10mm handgun, because it does make a difference. So I've got a pretty decent zero. I'm satisfied that I should be able to hit those steel plates. And if I start having a lot of misses, I might check it again and see if I've lost my zero, and that'll kind of answer our question. But I'm going to kind of rush through things today because it is cold out here. It's very cold. It may be really cold and damp and hardly any sunshine, but at least it's windy. All right, here we go. M&P 10mm with the Kraken from Swampfox. See if I can hit a plate. Nope. Yep. Well, man, what's going on here? Maybe I lost my zero already. Okay, I hit that plate. It just didn't move. It does happen though sometimes. Let me try the dueling tree. Okay. All right, so I'm satisfied that it's definitely putting them where it needs to when I do my part. All right, I hit that plate, but it didn't move. All right, I'm going to go back to old school with a paper target with an orange dot. The orange dot is to, so I'll have something to miss. I don't know, I'm still not quite convinced that I like a sealed red dot as opposed to the ones we're used to, the open one. I think you get a bigger view window. It just feels a little more natural. I don't know what it is, but it's something about the sealed one, for a handgun anyway, just seems a little odd. Now, one advantage I do have with the 10mm M&P, this particular one, is it did come with very tall sights. You can call them suppressor height or whatever, but they also will co-witness at least a little bit through this window. Even though this window is small and it sits a little higher than most red dots, I can still make out my 3-dot sight picture, which can help. But I'm still just using the green dot. So I'm kind of all over. I don't know if it's me or the ammo. I'm pretty sure it's not the Optic. I don't know. I'm shooting Freedom Munitions ammo, and it is it's new. It's not the remanufactured stuff that you can also get from them. This is the brand new stuff. But I have found it to be good ammo over the years. Not necessarily the greatest, but I've never really had any issues with its accuracy or its reliability, any of that. So anyway, that's what I'm shooting, just as an FYI. If you're following along so thoughtfully that you're trying to help me problem solve, that's part of the equation. The worst part of the equation, though, right here. All right, back to it. Really, I just want to test and see if it's holding its zero pretty good, which I think it is. Like I say, I'm the weak link here. Yeah, it seems like if I'm taking my time and doing my fundamentals, then we're not in bad shape. Except for that was bad shape. All right, so give that a sec. Point it down range. Not at my camera, if I can help it. Give it a minute. While I'm giving that a minute, the M&P 10mm I've already talked to you about, but I'm going to get this thing out every chance I can. So anytime I can come up with a good excuse to bring the M&P 10mm out, I will. Let's see what we got here. All right, got a primer strike on it. It does look like a bit of a hard primer. And the strike is low, though, very low on the primer. I'm going to put it back in and try it again. All right. So yeah, if I settle down and I do what I need to do, it looks like it's putting them in the right place. Okay, I feel like I have to make a quick comment on the target, the terrible group that I shot. I gave it a little bit of thought at the range, and then even now, you know, when I was going through and editing my video, I was like, my God, that's a horrible group. So I was like, well, what could it be? I know it's not the gun, because that gun has shot a really nice group in the past. I'm pretty sure that it's also not the ammunition, because even though that's not the best ammo and the most accurate ammo on the market, it's not that bad. And it's not the optic, because if it was the optic, it would just be a nice group somewhere else, or, you know, the optic's not, it wasn't jumping around, and it didn't drift. So I think that only leaves me. And I have no trouble believing that it was completely me, because it was extremely cold. I hadn't been to the range in a little while, so I was rusty and just, you know, whatever. So while a group this big, you know, like a dessert plate, is certainly not very impressive at, you know, what, the 15 yards or so that I was shooting, that is definitely all on me. And I will say that Kraken optic held up really well, and it seems to hold its zero really nicely. So it is going to stay definitely in the kit. There's no doubt about it. Okay, I promised myself that even though it is freezing cold out here and windy and just generally nasty, and I can't feel my face anymore, that I would put 100 rounds of this 10 millimeter through this M&P with the Kraken, with the idea of finding out if the Kraken will hold up. And it looks like so far it does. And I'm more than halfway through. In fact, these two magazines will be the last of the 100 rounds. So that will wrap it up. So I'm going to take a second here in between magazines before I load this final 15 rounds and shoot them to plug my other channel. I know that I've talked a little bit to you guys about it in the past, and I hate to be that person who's just constantly plugging themselves in one way or another, but I have another channel that is something that I really enjoy spending a lot of time with. I still don't get to spend very much time with anything, unfortunately, just because life is the way it is right now. But it's called Nights and Weekends. That's nights with a K. Nights and Weekends. The idea, the name came from, is that, you know, I have to kind of live my life, the enjoyable part of it anyway, on nights and weekends, just like most of you do, right? One of the things that I really, really enjoy doing with my time on nights and weekends when I can is wildlife photography and you know, doing videos as well with various types of wildlife. I do a lot with birds because birds, quite frankly, are easier to find. They can be more accessible than mammals, but I certainly love to do, you know, deer and foxes and then, you know, other things as I can find them. So if you're a gun guy or gun gal, then you probably also enjoy the outdoors. I find that that's a very, the Venn diagram overlaps almost to a total eclipse on that. So if you are an outdoors person, then you probably also enjoy either hunting or other types of wildlife, recreation, camping, whatever. So you might enjoy some of this content that I put on that other channel. So I would invite you to go check it out. And if you don't mind, if you go check it out, give it a subscribe. And if you watch the videos, give them a like, help me out. I haven't monetized that channel yet. I'm still debating whether I want to go down that particular road, but I may. And if I do, that'll help out. Meanwhile, I've got work to do right here that I need to finish up, and I am losing daylight. As I think you can see, it's starting to get pretty low in the sky. So I'm going to shoot these last 15 rounds, and then I'm out of here. All right, that does it. I think it did well. I think it held up well with the 10 millimeter. And as far as handguns go, you know, unless you put it on a 44 Magnum or something, maybe a 357, I think 10 millimeter is about as strong a test as you're going to get. And again, this was Freedom Munitions 10 millimeter. So, you know, it's not the hottest stuff. It's not buffalo bore or any of that, but it's still a good test. It's a good stout round. Held up well. I think it held its zero really well, and it's a good quality optic. I like it. Big thanks to my friends at Optics Planet who provided this Kraken to me for testing and to share with you. Okay, that's it for me. I am going to go someplace and get warm after I pack up all my stuff. I hope whatever you're doing today, you have an amazing day, and let's look forward to 2023.